Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. On with us right now, we have Mike from Nightshade Comics. Tell us a little bit about Nightshade and what you guys are producing.
Cool. So Nightshade is our company really just geared towards putting out Blood and Dust, which is my primary title we're working on. We're going to do a Kickstarter here towards the beginning of next year for the next title called Redacted. So it's, independent company that, is really focused on doing work that, for me, or, folks that I really kind of dig what they do. But right now it's just really geared more towards me.
Nice. And so your primary title, Blood and Dust, looks like it has a pretty biker-ish theme. Can you tell us a little bit about the title?
Yeah, so Blood and Dust, what I tell people is Blood and Dust is the story of the first American vampire and his family. So I don't do romance, I don't do love stories. It's just an angry old man who's got a 6, an 8, and a 10-year-old that don't grow up and don't mature, and their crazy mommy keeps chained up in the attic.
Nice. With them being the first family of vampires, how do you tie it into the modern era and then history, and what do you do with that?
It's kind of cool because the whole thing for us is that, Judd was the first American vampire. His origin story isn't like a traditional vampire story. There's no master vampire that turned him. He pretty much attracted this all on his own because of who he was. So, and you're starting right after the Civil War for him. Our story takes place, in the early 70s, and we do flashbacks to kind of, tell more about the family and the origins and how it all came to be. But, it's completely separate from most of the normal things that you would consider a vampire story. But we kept a lot of the essential elements in there, but we explain where they came from in a different way.
That's awesome. So when you're approaching the vampire story and you're trying to make it new and different, what was the hardest thing to kind of overcome?
When we started doing this, it was about 10 years ago, and it was right when Twilight was coming out and becoming really popular. I used to lay in bed at night, with my sheets pulled around my neck because I was so scared of vampires and stuff. And it was just really weird that, I wouldn't fall in love with a cow or a chicken. Why would I fall in love, why would a vampire fall in love with a blood sack, right? So, the idea it was trying to do something different is we wanted to return back to the badass. We wanted to return back to somebody who you were definitely afraid of. And so how to do an origin without a master, that was interesting, and kind of how we came about it was, it makes a lot of sense, and it ties in with a lot of Native American lore and things like that. And we explain the more normal vampires are his descendants and how he made them.
Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're trying to hustle, and that's a hard thing to do here, but how can people find your comic book and your company?
So the company's website's nightshadecomics.com or bloodanddustcomic.com. You can find us on Facebook. The store to purchase everything is nightshadecomics.storeenvy.com. Right now we have a limited Denver Comic-Con cover that we did with the local artist Yo-Yo. So we have limited amounts of those up. So everything that I do is available in the store.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, man.